What is up, guys? Welcome back to Breakout Trading. It is October 9th, a Friday, and it's day 9 of my account challenge on Trade Zero. So, wow. Today was absolutely brutal. As you can see, it's actually my best day ever, P&L wise. I've never made net $83 in a day, but my execution I rated a 0 out of 10, and I have a bunch typed up here and I'm just gonna read it out loud. The worst day ever. My execution was horrendous, and the worst part is I got rewarded for it. My account should be 0 right now. I traded 100% emotional, went way too big of size, especially on JKS, and I refused to cut any trade for a loss until the end of the day, where it was clear JKS was not ready to break down. I'm not cut out for this until something changes. I feel like I was on a roll starting in June. All summer I felt like I was making progress in my P&L, technical analysis, and emotional control. I wasn't making much money still, but I was learning a ton, and my execution was improving. I went from being a losing trader in April and May to a break-even trader in June, July, and August. That came to an end on September 24th. I just had a regular red day on a Thursday, nothing crazy. Then on Friday, September 25th, I had an emotional blow-up day where I lost $162, and you can see that video. It's uploaded on my channel on the energy stocks. This was a day or two after SPI had its legendary short squeeze. I guess I had FOMO, or I was mad that I didn't make anything on SPI. Anyway, it's basically been downhill from there. I feel like every day I get mad so easily at just a regular loss. I am more prone than ever to break rules, size in too big, ignore stop losses, and bag hold, etc. Basically just breaking all the rules. I moved to Trade Zero because I wanted to short more of these stocks. There's nothing wrong with that, except I don't actually know how to short. I don't have any practice strategy shorting. Instead, short. I've been long biased ever since I started trading. So why would I think I can just start shorting? I was also frustrated my long setups kept failing, so I have been ignoring them. So basically every day since the end of September, I have been guessing and hoping and praying in my trades. I rarely have a plan. A lot of my trades have been spur of the moment. For the last month or so, I have just been straight up gambling, and that is not the trader I want to be. I don't know exactly where I went wrong, but I'm going to take next week off. I'm not going to trade or look at the market. Instead, I'm going to just think over what I want to accomplish as a trader and develop a new plan and strategy. Maybe I'll go back to paper trading. I don't know. But if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm 100% just going to blow up my account. My emotions are way out of control to be a trader at this point in time. See, guys, basically just today was brutal. I'll just keep reading. Everything I want to say is on here. So my first trade of the day was VVPR. This was not one of my setups. So I'll just zoom in here to the 1 minute chart. There we go. Basically just longed the first major pullback on the 1 minute chart since market open because it looked like the stock was strong and I wanted to continue up. So you can see VVPR had some news here. It had an agreement to acquire 51% of an electric vehicle company. So obviously EV stocks have been going crazy, and so now they're acquiring an EV company. And it had a really strong pre-market, and then had a nice move here on the open around like 9:30, 9:40, and I basically bought in on the first pullback towards the initial high of day. It was pushing into all-time highs on the daily chart. So this is the daily chart here. So yeah, it was technically all-time high territory. This was the all-time high, as you can see here. This was the weekly. So we're at the all-time highs, no overhead resistance. That's definitely a pro for this to continue upwards. it started off like any normal trade. I went long 2 tiers and planned to stop out below VWAP. So that's right here. I longed here, I think like 11 shares, then took another 10 here, and as soon as it looked like it was about to rally, it had this huge flush down and got halted here below VWAP. I was instantly pissed, and I knew I wasn't going to cut the loss. I decided to double up to 44 shares at an area on the daily chart that looked like support around 450. So I decided to, instead of cutting the loss, use this previous all-time high and these sort of wick highs, and I added around here at 1450, added another 22 shares, doubling up. So you can see right there, it broke the low of day, and I added some more there on the stop loss liquidation or liquidity drop there below low of day. My stop loss became very far away, so I basically at this point was long 44 shares, and I put my stop loss below $13, so below these two highs here. It was for like a massive loss, like 170 or something, just because I didn't want to. I basically just trying to get that stop loss as far away from the day's price action as possible. Honestly, I do not think I would have even sold if it got down there. This trade was a complete bag hold, average down, add to a loser trade. By some miracle, the thing squeezed. So obviously, horrible execution so far. I'm just adding to a loser. This thing's showing zero signs of life. Somehow, at lunchtime, it frickin' squeezes like crazy. So this is what ended up happening to it. These are my sells here. So I ended up tiering out there in 3 tiers. I sold half of it here, and then another quarter here, and then the last quarter up at the top. Somehow I managed to hit the top. This thing was insane. It was only a 4 million share float, so that's why it was able to squeeze so easily. But I took off some here when it started crossing the high of day. It went into a halt, resumed. I took off another bit, and then I ended up somehow nailing the top here up there at around $24 was the final take profit. The execution on this was 0. I made $204, and it was my best trade of all time. My best winning trade of all time. And it feels terrible. I don't feel at all good about it. I feel like I just got super effing lucky, and I should be down fat today because this thing looked like it should have just faded all day. So stupid. I just got so lucky. That's the only reason I'm up on the day right now, is because a bunch of short sellers got the hell squeezed out of them right here, and I sat down at my computer at the perfect time just to scale out. It's crazy. So yeah, there's nothing to learn about for this. There's nothing to take away from this. I didn't do anything right. I scaled into a loser. The only thing is I just got lucky. Just got lucky. And you can see that, like, it's just a weird action on this stock overall today. Obviously very manipulated. So yeah. This is just another picture of the weekly and the daily. And then we hopped over to JKS. So JKS is in this massive short squeeze. Here's like a screenshot here I have. So this is a daily chart of JKS. As you can see, it has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 green days in a row. It's up absolutely massive. You can see that the daily RSI is maxed out. Same with the stochastic. So the thing's in complete short squeeze mode. And I thought it would be a great idea to just hop on in. You can see this is the weekly chart of JKS. So this is the previous all-time high here. And I had all these marked out for areas of potential support when this thing comes back down. But I'm not going to hold on. I was going to hold on, but I'm not. And you can see that it just is like this huge short squeeze. I guess it looks like it kind of broke out of this descending channel thing, and it's just going to the moon. Yeah, so As I was unrealized down $120 on VVPR, I had the great idea of shorting a massive short squeeze on JKS right into front side strength with maximum leverage on my account. And then I said, yeah. So I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore. I need to take a break. So basically I took one glance at like the daily chart right here, and I was like, oh yeah, this thing's like looks like it's top heavy. So I ended up just going short right here, because what it looked like is that there might be a double top right here on the intraday chart. So after this was yesterday on Thursday, came down, it hit right here, and I went short right here. But I went short as many shares as I possibly could. I was short 40 shares at $58, which was $2,300 short. That is maximum leverage on my account. As you can see, if I go to account details, now my buying power is less because it's overnight buying power, but usually it's like around 4K. I had about $1,000 in VVPR, and then I put absolutely everything into this. So stupid. It's the biggest. That is the biggest size I've ever taken in a trade in my day trading career. Right, the setup was a potential double top, but I did not cut the loss when it broke above, or even cut the loss when it pulled back here. I just instead I calculated out how high this stock would have to go for me to lose the entire value of my account. So a full $700, $800 loss. Turns out that number was around 71. So I put a stop market buy order up there at 71, and I walked away. So I should have lost my entire account. Like, the odds that this thing squeezes up, like, obviously I'm not the first one who thought that this was the top. It's just a death trap. You know, you never short frontside strength like this, because there's a whole bunch of shorts in this thing right now who are averaging up, and then they have to cut the loss, and that's why this thing is so strong, like irrationally, is because the only people buying it is just shorts being forced to cover their position. I eventually realized it was not going to break down at all, and I took it off right here when it failed, kind of came near VWAP here, and it failed to go below. So I took off half here, and I was willing to put a stop above the high of day and see what the other half did, and I just took it off there because I was like, F this, like, what are you doing, dude? You're so stupid. So that was a $100 loss, $108 loss. I could have been up $200 today from VVPR. Actually, no, I shouldn't even think like that. I should have no account right now, is what should happen. Should be the case right now. God, it's just so stupid. And the worst thing is I just got rewarded for being an idiot. And I'm up the biggest win I've ever had today for being a complete idiot. That's it, guys. Like, I don't even know anymore. I'm taking next week off, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Adios.